Hey friends, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home. We have been vlogging for over 5 years now here on YouTube. And so all week I'm going to be sharing with you guys why we do it, how we do it, some tips and tricks, how much money we make, a little bit of everything when it comes to being family YouTubers. So come hang out with me. I'm going to share with you all today why on earth we started doing this whole crazy thing. Hey there guys, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Homemaker and welcome back. You ready, Bunny? Where are we? Where are we, Ollie Bunny? What'd you need out of the car? Okay, hold on. Hey, good morning guys, welcome to Heavenly Minded Homeschool. I do not know how moms that do not have a baby carrier get anything done. Bunny, Bunny. You had a good nap, huh? Hey friends, I'm so glad you guys are here. For those of you who are, our regulars, you come around. Hey, how's it going? We have a video coming out every single day. So for those of you who are just now stumbling upon our channel, if you want to go ahead and subscribe and tap that little bell notification, that way you can get these when they come out every day. Now, you guys know I love talking about all the homey things, homeschool, being a homemaker, home discipleship, lots and lots of topics that are kind of in that area with just simple living. And I thought this week would be a great way to tackle. I get a lot of emails and a lot of questions usually about, hey, like, this looks neat. I've contemplated starting a YouTube channel, or our family would like to be able to share, to do these different things. I think we all kind of have this, like, so I say everybody's a storyteller, right? Everybody has something that they do like to share. Maybe you don't want to share it publicly on the internet, but we like to share, right? We're storytellers, just like the Lord, right? You go to scripture, and then you go to us, you see the creator, and yeah, we see where we get that. We love doing that and being able to share our story. And so I figured this week, in our weekly videos, we're just going to have a video out every day kind of talking about all things having a vlog, right? Being a YouTuber or whatever you want to call it, and kind of tackle some of that for you guys today. So if you have any questions, anything I don't cover, be sure to leave me a comment down below and I will make sure to get to that for you. But I figured to kick all this off, let me talk about why I started a vlog, okay? So we started a little over 5 years ago, and originally we were called Minimalist Homeschool. So that's what we started, and then like a couple of years then we kind of morphed into Heavenly Minded Homeschool, which kind of morphed into Heavenly Minded Home, and hello, that's where we are now, heavenlymindedhome.com. That's us. So it has kind of changed over the years, but I will be honest and say that honestly, even to this day, like, I'm not the biggest YouTube watcher. 5 years ago, really, like, I would pull up sermons, I would pull up more like educational or learning things, but I wasn't like I didn't watch vlogs. I didn't really know. The only thing that I had ever seen was my husband would watch Casey Neistat vlogs. And so I watched some with him and I was like, that's a neat idea. And a little bit before this, I had started a blog because we owned a business. I was a wedding florist and coordinator. I'm like a wedding planner and florist by trade. And we had done that for like a decade. And I was getting more time at home. And the whole time throughout having our business, we homeschooled our kids. And so I kind of just wanted a place that I could share homeschool stuff. And so I started this blog, and I kind of just did that for a while, but then I would run into these things where it was kind of hard to, sitting down and trying to write up a blog and do all of that was just like not my favorite thing ever. I know it's kind of silly to start a blog and then like the actual sitting down and doing the blog stuff like isn't really what you want to do. And so I was like, well, maybe, and then my husband kind of showing me like the vlogs. I was like, oh, is that what that is? Like I said, I didn't watch YouTube. My kids would watch YouTube. They'd watch stuff, and I thought my kids made up the term YouTubers. Like, just so you have an idea of how like out of the loop I was in all of this, I literally thought it's a term they made up. My son begged me for years to let him like stream, whatever it's called, to let him record himself playing Minecraft. Like he wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber. He'd always tell me that. I'm like, YouTuber isn't a word. Like you can't make up words and make up things. And now he gives me a hard time because he's like, Mom, we would have been millionaires by now if you would have let me start that years back. I didn't get it. I was so out of the loop. I did think my kids made up the term YouTubers, and apparently they didn't. It's kind of a thing. So see what I know. I didn't come into this thinking that we're going to be YouTubers. We're going to be family vloggers. Like I didn't come into it with any of that. I knew very little about the platform. I didn't watch anybody else really who did this type of stuff. I found like a couple people that I still like kind of watch, but like I really don't even watch a lot of stuff. That was not my intent. So let me share with you why I did start a vlog. Now, 5 years in and like thousands of videos and podcasts and all kinds of things that we do. This is why I did it, because it was not to be a YouTuber, because I thought that was a made-up word my kids came up with. It was not to be family vloggers. It was not to do any of that. The reason why I started, I think, kind of summed up in these 5 points. And the first one would be, it was simply easier to share. I was passionate about homeschool. I was passionate about minimalism and simplicity in our lives, from just being at home to our kids' education to kind of everything. And I was passionate about relying on the Word of God to grow us and refine us in all aspects of our life. Like that was easier for me to be like, hey, I'll just use my cell phone camera and make a little video and put it out. Like it's easier to do in that way. And really, when I started this, I shared it with like the people on my Instagram and Facebook that I had kind of ran into just doing the blog. And I didn't think really anybody else over that would watch these. And not that we have a huge following or anything like that. But when there were more than like 10 people hanging out and watching our videos, I was like, whoa, I did not think it would ever be anything like that. I just thought, hey, this is so much easier. Let me just show you. Let me just film it. You know, I try to explain how our days go and how we do different things. I'm just going to show it to you. That will be so much easier. That was really like my reason of why we started this. The second thing, reason of why I started a vlog is when I did start kind of looking around, even just on Instagram, I felt like everything was so curated. And that was the big thing, right? Everybody wanted a curated feed and everything was like so perfect and pristine and like everything just looked staged. And coming from the wedding industry, we did many photo shoots. We did many styled shoots for magazines, for online outlets, we literally worked for all kinds of these big name stuff, and we would do them, and it's all just smoke and mirrors, right? Like it's all just like how everything looks, but that's none of it's reality. And it drove me crazy. I mean, I was paid the big bucks to make everything look perfect, and I can do that. That's cool. But I like realistic. I like truthful. I like transparent. I like raw. Like that's what I like. And that's what I felt like, especially in the homeschool community, just wasn't there. I mean, there's many great channels and great things, and they use all the curriculum and they do all the stuff, and every day looks perfect. And I'm like, dude, at the point I was pregnant with a new baby coming. My kids don't like being bogged down and having 8 billion different curriculums that they have to do. We like being outside. We like playing and kind of being loosey-goosey with stuff. Like we just went about it different. And I would run into people that were like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? You know, because all the voices were saying you have to have all the curriculum and do all this stuff and be real scheduled and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, we don't do that. We just kind of make it up as we go, and it's working okay for us. So having this kind of realistic and truthful approach was something that I was like, let's share that, right? Like there's not many voices sitting there just being like, yeah, we're minimal, we're simple. Like we take each day and we give the Lord praise for it. Like that's what we do. Being able to kind of share that, I felt was something that was important and was needed. So that was a big reason why, you know, we started doing this. And then that third thing that really just became so neat was starting a vlog gave me this place to connect with others. I, you know, have been a mom since I was 17 years old. And so I real quick just didn't fit in anymore. Like all my friends in high school really didn't fit into my life anymore, because all of a sudden I was a wife and a mom. So while everybody was out partying and doing this, like I was at home with my husband and my kid. Things were really different. We moved from one coast to the other to, you know, kind of pursue our lives. But even then we worked for NASCAR and were involved in racing, and what everybody was doing in there, like we were like, oh, well, like we want to pursue, you know, do all that, but like we're married and we have a kid, like, you know, so we've kind of always had this like weird, like having a hard time connecting. The same for us with our business. We had lots of business friends, but while everybody else was always pursuing that, we're like, yeah, but we homeschool, we want a quiet life. You know, we were kind of in this weird transition. And so I felt like I never really had anybody kind of in my area to be friends with and to connect with that, you know, loves the Lord, loves homeschooling, loves being a homemaker, and marriage is important. You know, it's kind of like a hard thing to find these days. And so starting to share and getting to meet people that also love those things, like that was so cool. But I just love it. I mean, our like closest friends today have all come as a result of this journey, from having the vlog to my husband starting his podcast to us then starting a church, and now everything that we do throughout this ministry. It's just amazing to see. I can think of maybe like 2 people that I talk to on a like fairly regular basis that aren't connected to our doing this. And so when I look back and I see how God used this to really connect us to those that are family to us now, is just a really, really cool thing. You know, of course, we all wish we could do everything in person and all of that would be great, but you can use technology for so many cool, amazing things, and connecting with others in this way has been so cool. And I'm so glad we took this kind of leap of faith to start this vlog. The 4th thing that really stood out to me of just thinking of, why did I start this, right? This 5 years in, you know, hundreds of thousands of views and all these different things like down the road. To me, I use this as a creative outlet. As we were kind of starting to transition out of our wedding business, and we're like, oh, what are we doing? We were kind of at this, like we could feel the Lord just working in our lives and kind of moving stuff. I needed some way to funnel this. I don't sit well at all. I'm like ADHD to the max as far as like having things going on all of the time. Like I need some sort of outlet. And so for me, this is a great outlet, and being able to do this stuff and to share and to, you know, be able to, I wanted to encourage, I wanted to help, but in a just like straight up raw and honest way. Like you don't need to make it all pretty and fussy for me. Like we're pretty basic, you know, like we're somebody else who's just basic and real and truthful. Like that's what I wanted. And I felt so just, I don't know, encouraged to share. And so to have this creative outlet to be like, I'll share, come on, let's go. That was such a special thing, and really, really has been something that I've enjoyed throughout, honestly, the past 5 years, is having this outlet, you know, this something to kind of pour my whatever creative juices into. It's been really, really cool. And the 5th point of this, of why we started this, I don't think we realized at the time, but this has been over the years what keeps us going. We're going to talk about this week of like, what about the hard stuff when it comes to vlogging? Like the stuff people normally don't talk about that I think we should talk about. We're going to talk about that this week. But seeing the relational ministry in this is what now drives everything that we do here. Like, I love talking about the deep stuff, the serious stuff, theology, and, you know, all of the like really big important factors of life. But there's something about that relational ministry and building that with others, that you do life together, you share, you go through the hard stuff, the good times, you know, all of that, and work together to help build up one another and edify the spirit and all of that great stuff. And seeing the relational ministry that comes out of this, you know, I mean, there's many of you who know all kinds of things about me, and I don't get to know everything about everybody, you know, who watches, but getting to, you know, through your guys' comments, and then we connect and we go through this and lift you up in prayer and all the different things, and you know, people in our church now, and that all come together, that we host all of this for you all, that it is just really so cool to see the ministry. And even if you never talk to me and we never have that, like, to know that the Lord can bless this and use this to go out and to be a help to someone else, that when you're like, oh my gosh, I don't fit in, or I can't do this, or how do I keep up, or how do I balance, or whatever, to be able to somehow the Lord put me, you know, before you and you clicked on it and it's like, oh my gosh, like, thank you, finally someone else. Like, that's what I felt like. And so to be able to connect with others and be like, yes, oh my gosh, you get me, I get you. Like, I can pray for you, lift you up. I'm so glad you're here. That was just such a cool key component to this. And again, just really our driving force now in why we do this and why we're working on the things we're working on, and we just pour into this full time, and all of the stuff coming out of it really does come down to that relational ministry. So that really would be the top 5 reasons of why I started a vlog, you know, where we came from. I wasn't looking for fame. I wasn't looking for popularity or to feel like, you know, some sort of acceptance or, you know, whatever. Clearly we're not in this for like the fame and the big rise, because we're like, you know, small peanuts here in YouTube land. But I think it's important. I think these things are still important to be able to share, to have this realistic, truthful approach to things, where if you're looking for fancy and super snazzy, like, I am not the channel for you right now. I'm going to save you the time. Just like leave me and never come back, because you're not going to find that here. But it's a place to connect with others. It's a creative outlet that I just love being able to pour into and let it be a blessing to others, because I'm going to end up doing something anyways. Y'all might as well benefit from it. And then this relational ministry, connecting, lifting one another up in prayer, being there for you, being, you know, that's why I love when you guys send in suggestions of, hey, I'd love to see this video or that video. Cool beans, I'll totally make that for you. Like, because it's about us as a community, as sisters in Christ, you know, to lift one another up and grow to the glory of God. So for me, that's why I vlog, right? That's why we started this vlog, and it's why we've continued it 5 years now, and bajillions of videos and podcasts and everything, you know, down the road. It really is such a special, special thing. So I'm so glad you guys took a few minutes to hang out with me today. Of course, like I said, all this week we're going to be talking about the topic of vlogging, how to start a vlog, how to do it, some tips and tricks when it's not going so well, kind of all of that stuff. I'll share everything I've got. I'm an open book, right? I'm totally transparent. I'll share it all with you guys. So if you have any questions or anything I don't cover, leave me a comment and you know I will get back to you. If you want a little something else to watch, might I recommend this video right here? I think you're gonna love that. And of course, if you subscribe, tap that little bell notification, you guys. Like, share, comment, all the things that helps us get the word out here for our ministry. You're the best, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.